I'm pleased to yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Flores.
The gentleman from Texas is recognized for 3 minutes.
I thank my colleague, Mr. McClintock. Mr. Chairman, the Progressive Caucus budget amendment creates devastating cuts to our nation's defense. Our federal government's primary responsibility under the Constitution is to provide for the common defense for the security of all Americans. This budget amendment causes the federal government to abdicate this important responsibility. This substitute amendment guts the Defense Department by calling for cuts that are $900 billion deeper than the nearly half a trillion dollars that the President already proposed to be cut from the defense plan that he proposed just 1 year ago. This substitute has no specific plan to replace the sequester, which Secretary of Defense Panetta said would cause catastrophic consequences and which would devastate our Department of Defense. This amendment ignores our constitutional responsibility and tells our troops in the field that regardless of where the mission is or in what state it is, that we're going to cut off funding. This comes despite the fact that U.S. commanders have made it clear that there will be a continued role for the U.S. in Afghanistan even after Afghan security forces assume lead responsibility for security. This budget amendment also ignores the economic impact that deep defense cuts will have on low and middle income Americans that work for the Department of Defense or work for suppliers to the Department of Defense. Our nation suffers from a growing number of low-income families and high levels of poverty. We also have more people on food stamps than ever before. This is not the time to cut spending on the one federal government function that is specifically called for in our Constitution. The American people, as you hear from the other side, are looking for fairness. Cutting defense funding, as our colleagues are trying to do here, is not fair to the economic and military security of this country. This proposed budget amendment, as well as the President's budget, which was soundly defeated a few minutes ago, are not fair for America. What is fair is to set forth a budget which improves the atmosphere for job creation and which stimulates economic growth by relying on Main Street American solutions. If the Progressive Caucus and the Obama budgets are looking for fairness, they should not be looking to cut the Department of Defense. I urge my colleagues to oppose this substitute amendment so that we can ensure the safety and security of the brave men and women serving our country and for the American workers who support them. In the alternative, I urge my colleagues to support the House Budget Committee's FY 2013 budget. It is the budget that will restore America's promise and prosperity and security for future generations. Thank you. I yield back.
Gentleman from